The glittering ships of the Galactic Concorde hung silently in the darkness beyond Earth's moon. Their sensors focused on the blue planet below. Administrator Tejo looked at the screens showing Earth with careful eyes. His job was to watch this world that still had much to learn but showed promise. Senior Observer Jiho, stay where you are and keep collecting information about their culture, Tejo said. Junior Scientist Donghyun felt nervous on his first big job. He wanted to impress his superiors. Against the rules, he sent a small probe down to get better pictures of human buildings. This was a big mistake. The probe broke down and sent his small ship crashing toward Earth. Warning sounds filled the ship as it fell toward a small town in America. Within hours, human soldiers surrounded the crashed ship. Colonel Wilson stared at the alien technology with narrow eyes as his team found a damaged computer. Sir, you need to see this, his helper said, showing pictures of Earth cities taken over many years. They've been watching us, Wilson said quietly. Call the president right away. The news spread quickly. An alien ship had crashed. Even more shocking, these aliens had been watching Earth for decades. World leaders met in an emergency session. For once, countries that usually fought each other agreed on something. This alien presence was a threat to everyone. Dr. Hyunjin worked day and night studying the alien parts. She barely slept as she tried to understand how they worked. This is unlike anything we ever thought possible, she told the team of scientists from around the world. Their metal is lighter but stronger than our best alloys. Their power source is clean and nearly endless. The military took control of the crash site. They built high walls around it and filled the area with armed guards. Top scientists from every major nation were brought in to study the alien technology. Donghyun had survived the crash but was badly hurt. He lay in a secret facility, being treated by human doctors who had never seen his species before. They did their best to keep him alive while learning about his biology. Donghyun tried to explain that his people meant no harm, but the language barrier made communication nearly impossible. Back in space, the Concorde realized something had gone wrong. Tejo called his superiors. We've lost contact with junior scientist Donghyun. His observation craft has disappeared from our sensors. I fear it may have crashed on the planet. The news reached Grand Overseer Sungo quickly. He called an emergency meeting of the Concorde Council. This is unprecedented, he told the gathered leaders. No observation mission has ever been discovered before completion. Our protocols for this situation are untested. The council debated what to do. Some wanted to send a rescue mission immediately. Others feared making the situation worse. We should follow protocol, said Elder Mingjun. Prepare for formal first contact. Explain our ways. Surely these humans will understand we meant no harm. On Earth, military leaders were not feeling so understanding. General Park addressed the United Nations Security Council. These aliens have technology far beyond ours. They've been spying on us for who knows how long. We must assume their intentions are hostile and prepare accordingly. The UN voted to create a United Earth Defense Force. For the first time in human history, nations pooled their military resources without reservation. The alien technology from the crash became the focus of a massive reverse engineering project. Engineer Juno made a breakthrough when he found the aliens' communication system. After weeks of hard work, he learned how to listen to their messages. We can hear everything they say to each other, he told the Emergency World Council. They call themselves the Concorde. They control hundreds of star systems. Humans learned that the Concorde was sending ships to Earth. The aliens thought they were coming on a peaceful mission to explain themselves. Humans thought they were coming to invade. Colonel Wilson was put in charge of a special project to develop weapons based on the alien technology. We have maybe 6 months before they arrive, he told his team. 6 months to prepare for the fight of our lives. As Earth prepared for war, Donghyun finally managed to communicate with his human doctors. Please, he said through a crude translation device, this is all a mistake. The Concorde observes all developing worlds before welcoming them. We mean no harm. But his words came too late. The wheels of war were already turning. Humans had seen themselves as victims of alien spying, and they were determined to fight back. Dong Hyun realized with horror that his small mistake might lead to a conflict between worlds. Dr. Hyun-jin hunched over the alien circuit board, her tired eyes strained from days without proper sleep. The underground facility hummed with activity as scientists from around the world worked together. They had 6 months before the alien fleet would arrive, and every day counted. "Look at this," she said to engineer Juno, who worked at the station beside her. "The way they build their power systems is beautiful. It's like they think of energy as flowing water instead of electrical current." Juno nodded, his own eyes red from exhaustion. "And I've made progress with their communication system. I can now understand about 60% of their language." The two scientists were part of Earth's Best Hope, a team tasked with understanding and replicating the alien technology from the crashed ship. Deep beneath a mountain, protected by layers of rock and security, they worked to give humanity a fighting chance. General Park entered the lab, his uniform crisp despite the late hour. "Progress report," he demanded. Dr. Hyun-jin straightened her back. "We've figured out how their shields work. The principle is simple once you understand it. They create a bubble of altered spacetime around their ships." "Can we build it?" the general asked. "With the materials we have?" "A small version, yes. We're already testing prototypes." The general nodded and turned to Juno. "And the communications?" "Better than expected," Juno replied. "I've tapped into their network. They call themselves the Concord, a union of many alien species. They've been around for thousands of years, exploring and adding new worlds to their group." "Are they planning to attack?" Juno shook his head. "That's the strange part. From what I can tell, they're preparing a welcome ceremony. They keep talking about protocol and standard procedure. They don't seem angry about their crashed ship at all." General Park frowned. "It could be code words. Keep listening." He turned to leave but stopped at the door. "The first prototype weapons are ready for testing. I want both of you there tomorrow." After he left, Hyun-jin sighed. "What if we're making a mistake? What if they really are peaceful?" Juno looked at the alien text scrolling across his screen. "We can't take that chance. Not with the whole world at stake." Across the globe, human factories worked around the clock. Regular production was stopped. Every resource went toward building new weapons and ships based on the alien designs. Nations that had been enemies for generations now shared technology and resources. In orbit around Earth, the first human space battleship took shape. The Defiant was small compared to what the aliens would bring, but it contained the best technology humans could create. Its hull was made of a new alloy based on the alien ship's materials. Its engines used principles that human science had only dreamed about before. Colonel Wilson watched through the viewport as space workers attached the main weapon, a cannon based on the aliens' own technology. "Will it be enough?" asked his assistant. "It has to be," Wilson replied. "And the Defiant isn't alone. We have surprises waiting." On the moon's far side, hidden from Earth and watching eyes, humans built a base with missile launchers. In the asteroid belt, miners placed explosive charges on rocks, ready to send them toward any invading fleet. Earth prepared for war like never before. Meanwhile, Dong Hyun, the alien who had crashed, slowly recovered in his hospital room. The humans had finally created a better translation device, and he tried again to explain. "The Concord means no harm," he told Dr. Minha, the woman in charge of his care. "We observe all developing worlds before making contact. It's our way." Dr. Minha looked skeptical. "You've been watching us for decades. Taking pictures. Studying us. How is that not spying?" "It's research," Dong Hyun explained. "We need to understand your culture before we talk to you. To avoid mistakes." Dr. Minha laughed without humor. "Well, that didn't work out, did it?" She reported the conversation to her superiors, but they dismissed it as alien tricks. The preparations for war continued. 6 weeks before the alien fleet's expected arrival, Juno made another breakthrough. He found a way to send messages through the aliens' communication system, not just listen. He brought the news to General Park. "We can talk to them now," Juno said excitedly. "We can ask what their intentions are." The general considered this. "Or we can listen to their plans and prepare better defenses." "Knowledge is power," engineered Juno. "For now, we keep listening but stay silent." Around the world, regular people prepared too. They built shelters, stored food, and practiced emergency drills. Children looked up at the night sky with new fear, wondering which stars might bring danger. As the day of arrival grew closer, humanity stood more united than ever before. They had taken alien technology and improved it in ways the Concorde had never imagined. Human creativity combined with Concorde science created weapons of incredible power. The Concorde ships were coming to welcome Earth to the galactic community. They would find a world armed and ready for war. "Prepare the diplomatic fleet," Grand Overseer Sungo commanded from his control center. "It's time to formally welcome the humans to the Galactic Concorde." 12 magnificent ships, each larger than Earth's largest cities, moved into formation. Their hulls gleamed with a pearly sheen that seemed to shift colors in the light of distant stars. These were the pride of the Concorde vessels designed to impress and welcome new species to the galactic community. "Standard approach pattern," Sungo instructed. "Remember, these humans will be seeing ships like ours for the first time. We must be careful not to frighten them. The Concorde had done this hundreds of times before. Find a developing world, watch it quietly, then make peaceful contact when the species was ready." It was a system that had worked perfectly for thousands of years. What Sungo didn't know was that humans had been listening to their communications for months. They knew exactly when and where the Concorde fleet would arrive. Admiral Minji stood on the bridge of the Earthship Defiant. Around her, crew members worked at stations that combined human design with reverse-engineered alien technology. The ship was small compared to what they knew was coming, but it wasn't alone. "Are all units in position?" she asked. Her second-in-command nodded. "Yes, Admiral. The moon base is ready. The asteroid weapons are set. Our ships are hidden behind Mars, ready to move on your command." Minji took a deep breath. This will be humanity's most important moment. Today we show the galaxy we will not be conquered. The plan was simple but bold. Let the aliens think they were surprising Earth. Let them come close. Then attack from all sides at once. On Earth, General Park watched from the command center buried deep underground. Screens showed the approaching alien fleet. To his right, Engineer Juno monitored the Concorde's communications. "They're still talking about a welcome ceremony," Juno reported. "Either they're very committed to their cover story, or—" "It doesn't matter," Park interrupted. "We can't risk being wrong." The Concorde ships entered the solar system, passing Neptune's orbit. They slowed as they approached, their engines leaving beautiful blue trails in the vacuum of space. On the lead ship, Sungo prepared his welcome speech. "We bring greetings from the Galactic Concorde, a union of peaceful worlds." He practiced, wanting to get the tone just right. His aide, Mincio, approached with a concerned expression. "Sir, I'm picking up unusual energy readings from the human planet. And something from their moon as well." Sungo waved dismissively. "Probably their primitive scanning technology trying to make sense of our ships." The Concorde fleet passed Mars, now just minutes away from Earth orbit. Sungo smiled, imagining the awe on the humans' faces when they saw his magnificent vessels. That's when Admiral Minji gave the order, "All units, attack." The Defiant and 20 smaller ships burst from behind Mars, engines blazing. From the moon's dark side, missile launchers revealed themselves and fired. Most shocking of all, from Earth itself rose 30 fighters using technology that shouldn't have been possible for humans to create. The Concorde ships, designed for peaceful diplomatic missions, had minimal defensive capabilities. They never expected to need them. What is happening? Sungo shouted as the first impacts rocked his ship. Raise shields. Contact them. But the humans had specifically designed their weapons to overwhelm the Concorde's shields, using knowledge gained from the crashed ship. Beams of energy that matched the exact frequency of the alien shields cut through them like they weren't there. On the Defiant, Admiral Minji watched the battle unfold. Target their engines first, she commanded. We want to capture as many ships intact as possible. The space around Earth lit up with explosions and energy blasts. The Concorde crews, unfamiliar with combat, struggled to respond. Within minutes, 3 of their ships were disabled, floating helplessly. Sungo watched in horror as his beautiful diplomatic fleet was torn apart by the supposedly primitive humans. This is a mistake, he broadcast on all frequencies. We come in peace. But the humans, convinced they were preventing an invasion, continued their attack. From his command center, General Park nodded with grim satisfaction. Begin boarding operations, he ordered. I want those ships. Teams of soldiers in spacesuits launched toward the disabled Concorde vessels. They cut through the hulls and stormed inside, capturing alien crew members who had never seen combat in their lives. Within an hour, it was over. 5 Concorde ships had been destroyed. 3 had been captured intact. The remaining 4, including Sungo's flagship, retreated at maximum speed, jumping to faster-than-light travel as soon as they cleared the solar system. As Sungo's damaged ship limped away, he stared at the viewscreen in disbelief. How could this happen? They shouldn't have had this technology. They shouldn't have known we were coming. On Earth, humans celebrated their victory. They had captured alien ships intact. They had taken prisoners who could provide valuable information. And they had shown the galaxy that humanity would not be easily conquered. What they didn't realize was that they had just attacked a peaceful diplomatic mission and started a war based on a terrible misunderstanding. In the quiet depths of the underground research facility, Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood before a massive holographic display, her fingers tracing the complex battle maps of Earth's last defense. The alien invasion had been brutal, devastating major cities across the globe, but humanity was about to unleash its most daring counterattack. The world's remaining military forces had spent months preparing a secret plan. Hidden manufacturing centers deep within mountain ranges and abandoned mines had been working around the clock, creating a fleet of advanced hybrid vehicles that combined human technology with carefully studied alien engineering. These machines were unlike anything the invaders had seen before. Captain Jack Harper led the first wave of the counter-invasion. He was a veteran who had lost his entire family during the initial alien attacks, and his eyes burned with a mixture of revenge and hope. His team consisted of soldiers from every continent: Americans, Chinese, Russians, Brazilians, and Africans who had put aside their previous conflicts to fight a common enemy. The plan was simple yet audacious. They would use the aliens' own communication frequencies to send false signals, creating massive confusion in their defensive networks. While the extraterrestrial forces were distracted, specialized teams would launch simultaneous attacks on their primary command ships orbiting Earth. As the first wave of hybrid fighters burst through the atmospheric barrier, the alien defense systems momentarily froze. The human ships moved with an unexpected combination of human unpredictability and alien technological precision. Laser cannons fired in impossible patterns, disrupting the invaders' perfectly calculated battle formations. On the ground, specialized infantry units equipped with reverse-engineered alien weaponry began systematically destroying key alien infrastructure. They targeted communication centers, energy production facilities, and strategic control points. Each destroyed installation weakened the aliens' ability to coordinate their massive invasion force. Dr. Rodriguez watched from the command center, her algorithms predicting potential outcomes with remarkable accuracy. She had spent countless nights studying alien technology, understanding their weaknesses, and designing strategies that would exploit their rigid military protocols. Captain Harper's squadron encountered heavy resistance near what was once Tokyo. Alien fighter ships swarmed around them like angry metallic insects, their energy weapons cutting through space with deadly precision. But the human pilots had learned and adapted. They moved in unpredictable patterns, using terrain and electromagnetic interference to their advantage. One by one, alien command ships began to fall. The invasion force, which had seemed invincible months ago, started to crumble. Their highly structured military system couldn't quickly adapt to the humans' unconventional warfare tactics. Each lost ship represented a significant blow to their overall strategy. In the mountains of South America, ground teams discovered and seized massive alien technology repositories. These discoveries would provide humanity with advanced scientific knowledge that could transform their understanding of physics, energy production, and interstellar travel. The counterattack wasn't just a military operation, it was humanity's statement of resilience. Every soldier, scientist, and support worker understood that this was more than a battle, it was a fight for survival, for the right to exist as a species. As days turned into weeks, the tide of the war shifted dramatically. The aliens, who had initially viewed humans as a primitive species ripe for conquest, now faced a determined and innovative opponent. Their strategic models failed, their technological advantages were neutralized, and their invasion force began to retreat. Captain Harper's final assault on the primary alien mothership became legendary. Using a combination of human courage and stolen alien technology, he managed to infiltrate their central command, delivering a strategic blow that effectively ended the invasion. When the last alien ships disappeared from Earth's orbit, a global celebration erupted. Cities that had been reduced to rubble now rang with sounds of hope and victory. Humanity had not just survived, they had transformed themselves in the process. Dr. Rodriguez knew this was just the beginning. The technologies and knowledge gained from this conflict would propel human civilization into a new era of understanding and exploration. The invasion had been a brutal teacher, but humanity had learned its lessons well. As the sun rose on a changed world, people looked to the sky not with fear, but with a newfound sense of possibility and wonder. In the aftermath of the great alien invasion, Earth's leaders gathered in a massive conference hall, representing every continent and major nation. The world had changed forever, and they knew their next steps would shape humanity's future among the stars. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, now a key advisor to the Global Council, presented a radical proposal. Instead of returning to old national boundaries and conflicts, humanity would form a unified galactic organization. This new system would combine the best technologies, knowledge, and resources from every human culture. The first task was rebuilding. Massive reconstruction efforts began in cities across the globe. But this wasn't just about fixing what was destroyed, it was about reimagining human civilization. Advanced alien technologies were carefully integrated into infrastructure, transportation, and energy systems. Captain Jack Harper, hailed as a global hero, was chosen to lead the new Interstellar Defense Force. His team would be responsible for protecting Earth and exploring potential new territories. They started training programs that mixed military discipline with scientific curiosity and diplomatic skills. Scientists worked around the clock to understand the alien technologies they had captured. Research centers in Brazil, China, India, and the United States collaborated on projects that would have seemed impossible just years before. They developed faster-than-light communication systems, advanced medical treatments, and new methods of space travel. The global education system was completely transformed. Schools now taught not just traditional subjects, but also alien language patterns, advanced technological skills, and strategies for potential future encounters with extraterrestrial civilizations. Children learned about cooperation, adaptability, and the importance of understanding different cultures. In orbit around Earth, a massive space station was constructed. This wasn't just a military or scientific outpost, it was a symbol of human unity. Representatives from every nation worked together, living and working in close quarters. Cultural exchanges became daily experiences, breaking down old prejudices and misunderstandings. Agricultural scientists used alien genetic technologies to develop crops that could grow in harsh environments. Deserts began to bloom, and food production increased dramatically. Areas once considered uninhabitable became new centers of human settlement and productivity. The new galactic organization established strict protocols for potential future alien encounters. They developed communication systems, diplomatic strategies, and defensive mechanisms that would protect humanity while remaining open to peaceful interactions. Massive exploration missions were launched. Specially trained teams using hybrid human-alien spacecraft began mapping nearby star systems. Each mission brought back incredible discoveries, expanding human knowledge and understanding of the universe. Economic systems were redesigned to support this new global approach. Resources were distributed more equally, with a focus on collective advancement rather than individual competition. Technology and knowledge became the primary forms of wealth. Dr. Rodriguez's research teams made breakthrough after breakthrough. They discovered methods of energy production that were clean, efficient, and virtually unlimited. Transportation technologies evolved, making global and space travel faster and more accessible than ever before. Captain Harper led the first long-range exploration mission beyond the solar system. His team discovered 2 potentially habitable planets, opening up new possibilities for human expansion. The missions were carefully planned, with a focus on scientific exploration and respectful interaction with any potential alien ecosystems. The United Nations transformed into the Global Galactic Council, with representatives now including not just nations, but also scientific communities, technological experts, and cultural leaders. Decision-making became more collaborative and forward-thinking. Environmental restoration became a global priority. Technologies developed during the alien conflict were now used to heal the planet. Massive cleaning operations removed pollution, restored damaged ecosystems, and began reversing the effects of climate change. As years passed, humanity began to see itself differently. No longer divided by old boundaries, people started identifying as citizens of Earth first, with their cultural backgrounds becoming sources of pride and shared learning rather than sources of conflict. The alien invasion, which had once seemed like humanity's greatest threat, had become the catalyst for its most significant transformation. From the ashes of destruction, a new, united, and more advanced human civilization had emerged, ready to explore, learn, and grow among the stars. The future looked brighter than anyone could have imagined just a few years earlier. Humanity had not just survived, they had evolved.